Welcome back to the FIFA 23 Sheffield United career mode. We have ourselves an FA Cup final today. Because of the way that it's been scheduled, we will have the Premier League to deal with as well in the meantime. Today will be Liverpool, Southampton and Manchester United at Wembley for the FA Cup final. Tomorrow will be Manchester United in the Premier League, Leeds United as we end that for the league season finale, trying to get top four, and Borussia Mönchengladbach in the Europa Conference League final as well. So 2 pieces of silverware up for grabs over the next 2 days before we then start FC24 content both here and on the second channel for the My Player Save as well, Chesnoid Plays, a link to which you'll find in the description. In just the next coming, well, within the next few days actually. I'm not sure, I'm recording quite a few ahead of time. I'm not sure when you'll see this. I may even upload over the weekend to try and ensure that we get stuff up before FC24 arrives. So we'll give it a go to get some silverware today. Speaking of silverware today, if I lose to Liverpool, they win the league, which would be annoying to lose a game that sees your opponent then win some silverware. But we need to win, really, to keep ourselves in touch with the top 4 for that accolade in this save as well. We finished 9th, we finished 6th. We probably will finish at least 5th, but we'd love to make it top 4 to show continual progression in this save as we've grown through. We got to the Carabao Cup final last season. We lost it. I'd like to show some progression in this save as well by getting to a cup final. We've got 2 this season, and bloody winning one of them might be nice. Manchester City, I think it was, to beat us in the Carabao Cup final last year. Manchester United we have in the FA Cup final this year. Because it's amongst some other games in the Premier League as well, I won't bother with whacking the suit on, etc. It's warm enough already without putting a suit on. So 20 points the difference between ourselves and Liverpool. 7 points the difference between ourselves and Spurs. But we have this game in hand. It's quite a game in hand to have, but hopefully we will win it. We did recently beat Liverpool, of course, albeit in extra time in the FA Cup semi-final. To have the FA Cup final we have later on today. So let's go and do it in 90 minutes and keep the top 4 dream alive, whilst obviously still, hopefully, winning some silverware today too. Drop the video a like, it really helps the content, and I'd appreciate it very much indeed for these last couple of episodes of FIFA 23, let alone just the Sheffield United save. And of course, subscribe to the channel with the notification bell ticked. Same for the Chesnoid Plays channel, link in the description, for all of your FC24 content to come to you very soon indeed. Right, Liverpool away first, game at a time, and a trophy at the end. Liverpool start with Alisson in goal, Trent, Sula, Militao and Acuna at the back 4, Szoboszlai, Brozovic and Verratti in the midfield, and the front 3 is as it was yesterday for the FA Cup semi-final. The back line, I believe, is the same as well, so the only change is Verratti, and who actually wears the captain's armband today for Liverpool. We know we can beat them. We know we can hurt them. So let's try and do that again. But to do it consistently is the problem, or the challenge. Not necessarily a problem. It's definitely a challenge to beat sides like this consistently. But Liverpool are the sort of team you can beat consistently once you reach a certain capability of your own team. And I believe we're in the realms of being at that level. So hopefully we can reach that level again. Be a great way to start. Keep our top 4 hopes alive and delay their title challenge. Ensure that they don't win the league on our ground. Rafamir, doesn't quite find Jayden Bogle. And now I'm short. Going the other way. Lovely little dummy from Darwin Núñez to work the space well. He's got options. One of which is Verratti. Oh, and the man that didn't play the FA Cup semi nearly came into this fixture, showing Jurgen Klopp exactly why he should have played in that FA Cup semi. Maybe Liverpool wouldn't have been knocked out if Marco played. Salah's gotten away from Chuba Akpom. This is to the edge of the box to Niklas Sula. Darwin Núñez with a 1-2. Oh, and fingertip stuff from Dean Henderson to deny Darwin the opportunity to extend the lead. The Uruguayan had a very good chance there. The keeper equal to it. And Chuba this time does do his defensive duties very well. Bogle. Let's get it inside. Douglas Luiz was a bit slow to pick up on the fact that the ball was passed to him there. And Verratti gets away from him as they win the ball back here, Liverpool. That was lackadaisical from my midfield there. I played the right passes at the right times and the players just didn't really seem to want to respond. Chuba again on defensive action. Wins the header nicely. Verratti under control. Brozovic will wind up. Thought I was going to get a block on it. I didn't, but thankfully missed the target anyway. Still 0-0. A draw really doesn't help that much in closing the gap on those above us for a top 4 finish. We desperately kind of want that victory, really. And, well, we could yet still get it. Dragovic looking for Chuba Akpom. We might have the lead. Now, we do. Chuba comes up trumps. He's been scoring a lot in simmed games this season, but for whatever reason, myself and Akpom haven't clicked this third season anywhere near the way that we did in the second. But we're higher in the table because everyone else has chipped in, and if we start scoring in played games now as well as the simmers, we'll be good for the top 4. Into Zobozlai. And Brozovic again. And around the corner nicely, Verratti. Darwin tried to pick his spot. Dino's got to get up for that. And he's done very well. He's drawn the foul as well. So even if the ball had bobbled free, we would have had the free kick. Henderson putting everything on the line for his team, as he always does. Brozovic. Salah quickly to Darwin. And Luis Diaz, who scored against us at Wembley. Bit more precise with it. At Wembley's here at Bramall Lane, he just put his foot straight through it and gave it a good old whack. Didn't quite work for him. He might get an assist though. Verratti could give that a whack. Diaz. Verratti again. Verratti still. Oh, and what a finish from the Italian. Brilliant precision into the bottom corner. Just as we were saying, Luis Diaz did it at Wembley. Verratti comes up with an even better goal. From the edge of the box, he didn't look like he was going to have the space to get that off there as I was closing him down. But the angle just open enough to find that bottom corner. Their captain pulls them level. Jurgen's very happy. Here's Verratti. Darwin. Back to Szoboszlai. Oh, just nowhere to go. Literally nowhere to go. Good save by Henderson. Every direction I turned there with the player, there was a Liverpool man in the way. I had nobody to try and pass to. I had to just try and get it under control enough so that I could then clear it without whacking it against anyone. Eder Militao from the edge of the box puts it wide. Liverpool trying their best to get themselves in front before half-time. But thankfully, as of yet at least, they haven't been able to do so. Can we? Can we? Dragovic. No, we can't. Niklas Sula arrives with a vital interception. It will be 1-1 at the break. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have looked. Right, okay, that's the polar opposite of the FA Cup semi-final yesterday, isn't it? 8 shots to my 1, when it was my 6 to their 1 at half-time in the FA Cup semi. The scoreline is as it was come 90 minutes in that game. It did take us extra time to win it. But back on our turf, rather than the hallowed turf, we'll hope to find a winner inside the 90 this time around. If Chuba had made a better run... Oh, it's a good challenge by Brozovic. I was just about to try and lift that for Dragovic, who'd made a decent run on the far side. Decent run on the near side from Mo Salah. Has him in behind here. Ah, oh, but Danny Aarons. Someone just mentioned Danny Aarons in my Twitch chat. Oh, Max Aarons puts the tackle in. And he fancies a goal or an assist. He's run the whole length of the pitch. Max Aarons. And then kicks it straight against Trent. We'll have a corner, though. Alexis McAllister to come on for Verratti. So the captain's armband changes hands. Oh. Speaking of hands, there's Alisson. Darwin into Luis Diaz. Oh, the burst of pace. Dino! Does very well. Rangers, just get rid of it, please. Thank you. I want to be gifting Mo Salah the ball in that sort of position. Or Luis Diaz or Darwin Nunez, for that matter. You know where he's going to try and go. Just keeps falling free to them. They've got so many men forward. There's just such little you can do in those scenarios. Even trying to put your foot through it just sees it get deflected back to one of them. McAllister, Militao, saved by Dino again. He can't quite believe it. Eder is on his feet. Amin Gouiri is on off the bench for Liverpool here. He's taking the corner for them now. And we keep relying on Chuba Akpom to get up for those near post clearing headers. But he's done very well indeed to get the ball clear. Well up, Jaden. Well up, Dragovic. Bogle. Drill it to Rafa. All right, or to Chuba. Tijani. Reinders! Are you serious? Are you actually serious? For Champions League football? He's hit the post. 1-on-1. 10 yards out. He's hit the bloody post. Oh, man. Tajani is another player that was sensational last year and hasn't hit the heights this season, similar to Chuba. At the minute, it's Chuba's goal that separates the two sides, or sorry, that keeps the two sides level. Oh, and Gouiri nearly gets the goal that separates the two sides. 2 minutes added on. If we clear it first time, there is the chance of a counter. Oh, Edin Militao with the overhead kick. Right, quickly, from back to front. Quickly. No! Quickly, from back to front. No! Oh, final whistle. It's a 1-1 draw. It's a 1-1 draw. Well, we are at least 6 points behind Manchester City with 3 games to go. Other sides playing their games in hand this match day as well, with 9 points available. Oh, Spurs, sorry, not City. With 9 points available, we're 6 points behind Spurs in the top 4. We're 8 points behind Manchester City in the top 3. And Liverpool haven't won the league against us, crucially. But all they need is 2 points from their last 3 games, and they will win the league. And they can do it against Crystal Palace at Anfield next time out. City have Everton at home, so they'll probably win that. And Spurs have Wolves at home, so they'll probably win that. If we beat Southampton, there is still a chance. Southampton, Mateus Liss in goal for them. Bree, Kusunu, Lianco and Leidner. Joe Aribo and James Ward-Prowse in the midfield. Joachim Nähler on the right. Orsic on the left. Rothery in the middle as a Patreon player. And then Paul Onuachu up top. Thank you to those of you that have joined the Patreon at the VIP tier, or any tier, since we put that other Patreon promo video live. It's very much appreciated. If you are one of the VIPs at the Big One project level on the Patreon and you haven't responded to the post on Patreon about your players' details for FC24, please do so over the next couple of days, because time is going to be running out for you to get your details in before FC24 arrives and I start recording. And I would hate to have any of you miss out because you haven't been able to get your details in. Dragovic with an effort from distance, saved well by Liss. It's a positive start for us here. We know a victory is an absolute must. We cannot do anything other than win this game if we want our top 4 hopes to remain intact. Orsic looking to get away here, but he won't. Bree, can I get to that? I could, but Onuachu's the size of a fecking house. Up we go, please. Lewis apparently is the player to watch in this game. Not James Ward-Prowse, not giant Paul Onuachu, but Lewis Rothery, the Patreon player. Unbelievable, Jeff. In the Youth Academy RTG, in fact, one of you Patreon players was in the voting for the Ballon d'Or, which was remarkable. Onuachu back to Rothery, and he might get an assist. Oh, no, that's a very familiar finish from Onuachu. We've seen him do that before when I was manager of Saints. Bogle looking for Dragovic, finding him. Difficult ball to play that because that angle was closing the whole time. Rafa Mir, Chuba, Oxlade-Chamberlain against his former side. He doesn't miss. That's what Tajani should have done against Liverpool. Oxlade-Chamberlain apologising in red and white stripes once more, but not Southampton's red and white stripes. Scoring for us again, though. Dragovic could break between the lines, and he has done. Rafa Mir's there. Chuba's in. Oh, I was just playing it. I just waited till I got the right time when he broke away from the defenders that were with him, so he'd have the space with the first touch to take it into the box and have the shot. Oh, into the box and have the shot, you say? Paul Onuachu says thank you very much. Could have been 2-0 at the other end. There is a second goal in this game, but it isn't for us. 1-1. Here's Jim Jams. Back to Joe Aribo. On his weaker side, Joe Aribo, but still it was travelling. Wide it went, and in at half-time we go level. At half-time, Manchester City 2-0 down. Tottenham drawing. Liverpool winning the league, and we could, if we win this and other results stay the same, be right back in the top 4 hunt. But I can't believe Everton have gone to the Etihad and are 2-0 up at half-time. We must win this game. Mislav Orsic with the free kick. Lofts it forward. No. He's got to be offside. He's on, isn't he? He's on. It's 2-1 Southampton. Who did that come off? Oh my God. Onuachu's gone for a somersault. It came off me. Again, loses out of the header. You'd expect it to be Onuachu, the man that they were aiming for, to flick it on. With City 2-0 down and Tottenham drawing, we're now 2-1 down. This isn't how it was supposed to go. If the other results go your way, you've got to take advantage. We aren't. And out wide here is Kyle Walker. It's the only real option I had to use. Tajani's there. That's Douglas Luiz. Little dink. Akpom. Well, I've used your head to get that out wide. Bogle. Ah! I'm getting annoyed now. Nothing I'm doing is working offensively today, and I've got a bloody FA Cup final next. Akpom. Archer has spun brilliantly. Cameron Archer. Brilliant save. So very nearly. Come on, please. I still need 2 goals, and I can't even get 1. Kusunu knocks that down. Reinders comes away with it. It's still free. Reinders! I don't know how he still had the ball. Orsic crossed. No! Dino with a save. I still need 2, and it's the 82nd minute. I think we can kiss top 4 goodbye, can't we? Certainly looks that way at the moment. Oh, Chamberlain intercepts. Needs to get it forward. Does so, but picked off. No. Come on. All the way out wide. Get there, Kyle. Oh! Challenge, please. I know he's giant. Quickly! It's not meant to go there! Kyle Walker's away. Run, Kyle. Just run, Kyle. Tuba! A point at least. Go again. No, get the ball, pal! Bollocks to celebrating. Get the friggin' ball. I need another one. 88th minute. It's 2-2. We go again. Win it, win it, win it. Oh. We'll play on. I don't want to take the advantage. I don't want the ref to give the foul and then run out of time because they've gotten all the defenders back. Tuba, pay attention! I've passed it to him and he's just stood there and waited for it whilst the defender steps in and takes it off him. It's a draw only against Southampton. Tuba! You might have scored the equaliser. You've still cost me the potential chance of a victory, mate. I'm genuinely pissed off. Liverpool 2-1. Liverpool win the league. City did score 2 goals, but Everton scored a 3rd. Tottenham did win. Is the top 4 dream dead? I think it might be. I think we're 7 points off City. We are 7 points off City, 8 points off Spurs, 6 points available, 5th only for us this season. FA Cup final next. And I tell you what, considering it's the last episode of the last season of the last save of the last FIFA, rather than do another video tomorrow, we will make it the last episode. We'll sim Man United away, we'll sim Leeds at home, and we'll go and play the 2 cup finals here and now. FA Cup final and Europa League final on the way in this one. Manchester United in the FA Cup final. Andre Onana in between the sticks. Malacia, Yere, Lisandro Martinez and Fran Garcia. Casemiro, Munain and Donny van der Beek. Rashford, Silva, Anthony. They must have had a game midweek, same as us. A number of their players are tired and there is no quality in depth for them whatsoever. Just none. So the fatigued players have to start. Fotheringham in goal. Walker with the captain's armband. The former Sheffield United man back to captain his club, potentially to their first trophy in 100 years against one of his former club's biggest rivals. Donny van der Beek. Anthony. Donny van der Beek. Tackled and a counter is on. Akpom. To Rafa Mir. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain starts after his impact off the bench against Southampton. Bogle's on the breakaway down the right-hand side. I've got many in the box to aim for. Let's pull that back towards Tijani. And I think Rafa would have been onside, but he didn't get to it. Andre Silva in for a 2 fatigued Jonathan David. Munayin with the effort. Foderingham saves. First chance of the game comes for Manchester United and goes for Manchester United. Casemiro versus Rafa Mir. Oh, it's fallen for Rashford. Strike and save. Wes Foderingham. Full stretch. Strong arm. No goal. They're going to take the corner short in front of the Manchester United fans. They're not going to take it short. Rashford heads behind. That one nowhere near as close. Douglas Luiz can't get there, but Muniz kicked it straight at Jayden Bogle. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Rafa Mir. Get away from the one man that closed him down. Can't get away from the second. Donny van de Beek wins it back for his team, and Casemiro will look for Marcus Rashford out wide. Good first touch. I like the idea. Just if there's anyone on the pitch you're not going to outpace, it's probably Kyle Walker, mate. Anthony. Oh, is he offside, Munayin? He's not. The FA Cup final has its first goal. Ike Munayin buries it for Manchester United. We are behind at Wembley. Aarons. Tijani is short. Malacia. Bullish in his attempts to try and win it back. Chuba needs to actually move. Just being stood next to me isn't good enough for this final third, mate. You need to actually make a run. Like Rafa's made there. Aarons with the cross. Oh, that looked painful, but everybody's okay. Thankfully for them, unfortunately for me, the Manchester United goalmouth is still intact as well. Their clean sheet is still there. Donny van de Beek. Ball over the top to Fran Garcia forward from left back. He's got men in the middle to aim for. That's going to cannon back here to Donny and Andre Silva. And it's still bouncing around. And we will get rid of it. That could have gone anywhere. Tijani on the run. Chuba, make me some movement, pal, please. He has. And he's in. Chuba Akpom at Wembley. Kicks it straight at Onana. Couldn't have put it more. Down the middle. Unbelievable. Tried to get that across goal. And he slapped it straight at the keeper. Malacia making the run. Anthony finds him. He's just onside here to Malacia. Inside on his left. Van de Beek, Muniain, Rashford, goal. Man United lead by 2. Bollocks. Let's not go in at half-time trailing by 2. We might not. Rafa Mir in behind. Can he finish on his left foot in front of Andre Onana? No is the answer. Wide again. We should have scored 2. But the lack of clinical finishing from our front line means that we still haven't yet put it in the back of the net. We could be level. Well in, Donny van de Beek. Defender flattened. Muniain. Big save, Wes. 3 and it's definitely over. First half stoppage time. Short to Anthony from the corner. Back to Donny. Donny van de Bench gets the start here. Reinders tackles him and the ref's going to blow his half-time whistle. We are behind by 2 at the break. We absolutely could be level. Devastated that we've not scored at least 1. This is a big second half. It's a lovely through ball. It's a brilliant first time pass. Anthony to seal it for Man United. Foderingham with the save. And thankfully Jayden Bogle denies Marcus Rashford a simple tap-in. Kyle Walker on the counter. Casemiro gets there first and then runs off the pitch with it. I brought Cameron Archer on at half-time. And hopefully he can make the difference up top. Casemiro out wide. Oxlade-Chamberlain might be coming off for Dragovic soon. Oh, Fran Garcia is just too quick off the mark. Here's Rashford. And Muniain. And Andre Silva. That'll be game over then. 100 years since Sheffield United won a trophy. There's still the chance against Borussia Mönchengladbach. But any trophy we do win will not be a domestic one. Carabao Cup final last season, lost to Manchester City, I believe it was. I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure. FA Cup final, lost to Manchester United. So sad. So sad. At least score 1. Been so bad in this run-in, and I've no idea why. Bogle. Support needed. Support found. Rafa Mir's making a lung-busting run. Oh, Kyle asked him to pass that. He just didn't. Douglas Luiz. Option down the line. Option in the middle. Rafa Mir is there. Turned. Donny van der Beek takes it off him. They might have had some tired players heading into this game, Man United, but those players have still given absolutely everything for the cause, and they will walk away with a trophy. I'll look for Cameron Archer over the top, but Lisandro Martinez is going to cut it out. I'm not even going to score one, let alone three. Man United dominating me at Wembley, and there's no other way to phrase it. It has been domination. Archer looking for Rafa Mir. The pass is shite. There's no other word for it. It's just shit. Bogle. Hansko. Space on the left. Aarons. Tijani asking for it and receiving it. Looking for Cameron Archer in the channel. He's turned well. Can't pull the trigger. When it's not your day, it's not your day. And today is one of those. Not just in this FA Cup final, through the legs of the man in front of him who was perfectly positioned to intercept it. It's not just the FA Cup final where it hasn't been our day. How wasn't our day in the Premier League either? Dragovic looking for Rafa Mir. He has the chance to get us a consolation goal. Yay! 3-1. Woo! Skip! Great. 5 minutes left to find 2 more goals. Will it happen? Oh, who knows? Lovely footwork by Dragovic. Excellent through ball. Jayden Bogle into the box. Jayden Bogle, tuck it back. Can't find Cameron Archer. Dragovic with a good footwork again. 2 minutes added on. We are in the end of it now. So it will either be a 3-1 or a 3-2 defeat. Take your pick. 3-1. All right, fair enough. Oh, jeez Louise. Absolutely gutted. I don't want to watch them lift the trophy. Absolutely gutted. To put in that performance on the big stage is just criminal. Some of the misses. Some of the passes. Easy stuff. Easy stuff. And they've just let me down. Without, there's no other way to phrase it. They've let me down. Rafa Mir. Yes, 3-star weak foot. But that 3-star weak foot with 91 finishing couldn't find the target. Chuba Akpom on his favoured foot with 87 finishing straight at the goalkeeper. Even if it was on his weak foot, 5-star weak foot, straight at the goalkeeper. Chances upon chances upon chances wasted by players that should do better. Man United and Leeds in the league, we will sim. And I promise you, I will win that Europa Conference League trophy and we will not end this season in vain. 1-0 Man United, Donny van der Beek. You know what? You know what? I'm not going to put myself through the pain. Rafa Mir and Chuba Akpom score a goal each against Manchester United. Why didn't you do that at Wembley? Tears. Twats. Right, Leeds United at home, which we will quick sim. Almost everybody's fully fit. Let me just take Rafa Mir out and put Cameron Archer in. Spinazzola's back and fit again, so we'll start now against Leeds. We'll quick sim this one. We'll get the, hopefully, 3 points. Ready? Hee-hee! Leeds 1, Sheffield United 0. Wouldn't it be so fitting now if we lose this final against Borussia Mönchengladbach? Please, Ches, do not lose this cup final. My starting lineup for my last ever FIFA game. Spinazzola, Hansko, Aguerd, Walker, Bogle, Henderson in goal this time. Reinders, Douglas Luiz, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Akpom, Rafa Mir. I went with Dino. I just made the decision to put the best possible goalkeeper I've got in there. So if we do end up conceding quite a few chances, at least we have some faith in the keeper between the sticks to keep them out. It's going to take forever to show Mönchengladbach's lineup, so I will just show you it here instead. For the final game of FIFA 23, for the final game of FIFA I'll ever play, Jonas Omlin in goal for them, Serge Aurier, Ko Itakura, Mateus Hayes, and Thierry Carrera is their back four. Czech Tukure and Oscar Rodriguez Arnaiz in at centre mid, with Carlos Rodriguez on the right, Matias Vargas on the left, and former Chelsea man Oscar, that Oscar, at cam behind Vangelis Pavlidis. Borussia Mönchengladbach, easily, comfortably the strongest side we've played all season in European competition. Please, for the first time in 100 years, let me win a trophy with Sheffield United. Reinders into Spinazzola. Chuba is there. He's gotten away from the defender and he's got plenty of options here. The pass is poor, but it will work its way. Jayden Bogle, the right back! That's more like it! Sheffield United 1, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0. 5 minutes played, we lead in Europe. And you can feel the weight fall off the shoulders of the manager, the players, the fans. Okay, maybe it will be our day. Pavlidis with the option to go down the line. He's found Vargas. Bogle coming across, doing it at both ends of the pitch, but Kyle Walker gets caught in possession. Just couldn't get it under control for me to do anything with it. Naif can't do the same, but Dino is out to it to recover possession. That could have been an immediate response from Borussia Mönchengladbach. It wasn't, thankfully, and Bogle will get this through the gap, finding Rafamir. Chuba's through that gap. Not sure if he's on. He's not. I was about to pull the trigger. Whether it went in or not, it wouldn't have mattered. He was offside. It was close. You can see the man in the orange boots stepped at just the right time to close the ball. Not necessarily a conscious offside trap, but Chuba did step too soon. It's not going to work. Can Bogle find a pass, though? No, God, that cross is absolutely diabolical. Kyle, don't forget the ball, mate. Say we'll recoup possession. Chamberlain, could have gone out wide. We'll go to Tijani. Tijani, back. Oh, it was meant for Rafamir. Chamberlain! Ever reliable Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. Sheffield United 2, Borussia Mönchengladbach 0. The century-long wait might well be over. Oscar. Montivo to Oscar to Pavlidis. Keeper's out. Keeper won't get there in front of the fans. Borussia Mönchengladbach pull one back. Pavlidis makes it 2-1 on the night. Lovely run. Not the best of marking capabilities by my number 4. And we find ourselves pegged back a little. Tijani Reinders. Oh. Picked off well. Douglas Luiz. They're getting back in it here. Mönchengladbach, and I do not like it. Rafamir's pass picked off. He's going to put the effort in at least to try and win it back, and does do so. Can't fault the effort of the players. Sometimes the execution just isn't quite there. Look no further than the FA Cup final. Nice interception. Chuba's going to make the run. Rafa tries to get it to him. Mateus Hayes makes a very good interception. Here's Pavlidis. They could get themselves back level here. Borussia Mönchengladbach before half-time, if they can find the right pass at the right time, is Oscar. Vargas. Options square. Can't find them. We will get rid of it, but evidently they are going to be dangerous for the rest of this game, Borussia Mönchengladbach. Just because we had a 2-goal lead doesn't mean we keep a 2-goal lead. Ask Arsenal from our game against them earlier this season. 2-0 up they were. They lost 5-4. 2-0 up we were. If this ends 5-4 to Borussia Mönchengladbach, I am very glad that this is my last FIFA video and I never have to play it ever again. Oh my God. It might be 2-2. Oscar. Hendo. Away. Anywhere will do. Corner. Mönchengladbach. The panic starting to set in again. Oscar. To Oscar. To the edge of the box. It's Vargas. And in the way as a defender. And again, anywhere will do. Added time, just 1 minute of it. Despite 3 goals in the half, is probably a bit of a surprise, actually. Bogle will keep going. Half time, please. Thank you. 2-1 lead at half time. Come on, let's grab a third early doors. War, Jesus, in this half and see it through. He's got to be getting a yellow card after that, surely, Pavlidis. That was a nasty challenge. Can we keep that in with Kyle? We can't. He's getting away with it as well. Unbelievable. He's chopped me there. if he's on a yellow, he's a little bit on the back foot for the rest of the game and not quite so aggressive. The fact that you've let him get away with that means that he'll feel confident that he can go and batter people for the rest of the game, get stuck in, and not need to worry about getting sent off, or even the fact, how is that a corner? The fact that he might well still be on the pitch to score a winning goal at some point. Big save, Dean Henderson. Brilliant header by their number 29, I think it was Serge Aurier. Top stop by the goalkeeper. Would Dino have kept out some of Man United's goals? Was it a mistake to start Wes Foderingham in the final of the FA Cup? I don't know. Was it just wishful thinking? Were we being too sentimental in giving Wes the start at Wembley? That's why we went with Dean Henderson this time. Because we feel like we're better and more solid with Hendo. Oh, it's supposed to go to Rafa Mir. It's not quite worked. 10 minutes into the second half. We're not massively confident. That early air of it could be our day is feeling more and more distant at the minute. Oscar dos Santos and Oscar Rodriguez over it. It is Oscar dos Santos and it's well in the stand. Reinders. Diox. Douglas Luiz. Spinazzola. Drill it. Schubert. Great touch and turn. And the ball through to Johnny Reinders. Rafa Mir. Yes! 2-goal advantage restored. 3-1. The man that we brought in to add more to our front line may well be the man to seal this victory and this trophy for this football club that are so desperate for anything, given our fortunes the past couple of seasons. Carabao Cup final, defeat. FA Cup final, defeat. Europa Conference League final, maybe just. Oscar. Into Oscar. Through to Pavlidis. Oh, big save, Dino. Big header by Naif. As one man at one end that we brought in this season does the business. One man at the other does the same. To be fair to them, two men at the other. Dino with a big save. Naif Aguerd with a big clearance. Oscar was travelling, but Dino shuffles his feet quickly enough to be able to keep it out. The advantage remains, and time is running out for our German opposition here. Spinazzola back in the team from his long-term injury, and he might just win a cup in that first appearance. Thierry Correa down the line, flicked on well, and Hans goes in the way. Rafa Mir to Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oh, see you later, son. The Ox on the run. Rafa Mir arriving. Oh, he got his own back. He managed to get back to make the interception. Intercept that. I can't. Pavlidis onside here. Walker makes the challenge. Time is running out for them just as it ran out for me in the FA Cup final. 1924-25 season was the last time that Sheffield United as a football club lifted any kind of trophy in professional football. Rafa Mir, what are you doing? But now that long wait might be over. The last game I will play with this club as manager on FIFA 23 looks like it may well be ending with a trophy lift. We brought Kyle Walker back to the club. We brought Harry Maguire back to the club. Oh, if that goes in, then it is nervy at the end. And it will be Captain Kyle Walker. Wanted to end his career at Sheffield United. He will end his career at Sheffield United in this save. Whether that happens in real life for him is yet to be seen. But he's going to end his career at Sheffield United in this save. And he will end it as a European champion. We did it. Not as much as we might have liked to do it, but we did it. 3 cup finals with Sheffield United, 2 domestic cup finals end in defeat, but the third time lucky. Brilliant start to the game, taking a quick 2-0 lead. Pavlidis threw a little bit of concern in there, and then Mönchengladbach definitely had the better of the play for a while. But those Sheffield United fans get to sing Campione, Campione. I'm so happy. I'm devastated to have not gotten top 4 or won the FA Cup. But with all of the trials and tribulations we've faced in this save, the lack of massive funds, the the lack of growth from some areas, the 2 domestic cup final defeats, the inability to get into the top 4, to end with Kyle Walker lifting a European trophy for Sheffield United, feels like we've done it justice. If that happens in real life, in Sheffield United's, hopeful from their fans' point of view, 3 next years in the Premier League, then I'm sure they won't be disappointed. Kyle Walker lifts the trophy, and our final ever game, in our final ever video, in our final ever save of any FIFA ever, ends in a trophy lift. It's not spectacular, it's not a treble, but would you have expected anything less of me, of my content? We try and do things realistically. I don't bullshit you and reload saves and make sure that I win for the content. What happens, happens. And what's happened is we've lost the bloody cup final in my last ever FIFA video. But we have won another cup final. Sheffield United are champions of Europe. West Ham sing it, and rightly so. You win a European competition, you win a European competition. Sing it as much as you like, lads. Sheffield United fans, champions of Europe. Right. A final season roundup, a final game roundup, final series in terms of FIFA as a whole roundup, and of course we'll show you Patreon players exactly what happened with your careers in this save as well. Let's advance and find out who won what this season and find out exactly how the squad grew. All we know for sure is we're happy we got at least 1 cup through the door. That trophy cabinet at Sheffield United has something new in it for the first time in a century. So how did absolutely everything end at the end of this victorious, to some extent for us, Sheffield United season? The competitions we were involved in ended as follows. We ended up 6th in the end in the Premier League. Had we beaten Leeds in that final simmed game, we would have been 5th. But unfortunately, it's 6th for Sheffield United, but it's still 4 points clear of Manchester United, so that's absolutely fine. Liverpool, 1 defeat only, 89 points, top of the table, champions. The only defeat, Everton. I'm sure Toffees fans will enjoy that. They ended up 9th in the end. Relegated were Luton, West Ham and Burnley in the end, down on goal difference alone to Aston Villa, and Forest and Wolves only survived by a point. Brentford and Southampton only survived by 2 points, and Crystal Palace survived by 3. That's probably the closest relegation battle I've ever seen. Just 3 points from 12th to 18th. That's pretty remarkable, actually. The FA Cup, won by Manchester United. The Carabao Cup, won by Everton on penalties. Not only did they beat Liverpool to deny them an invincible season, they also beat them in the cup final too. What a season for Everton. The Champions League was won by Paris Saint-Germain by 3-2 against Liverpool. So they had the chance to do a treble, but they didn't. They only won 1. I know how that feels, don't worry, Liverpool fans. Arsenal win against Benfica by 2-1, so they're in the Champions League next season. And we, of course, beat Borussia Mönchengladbach. Where did Arsenal finish in the league? Were they in the top 4? They were 5th, so they'll get Champions League football next year. 5 English teams in the Champions League next season. In the leagues that we were involved in, at least, player stats, we'll have a look. Top goal scorer this season in the Premier League was Erling Haaland with 25. Shock, no one. Akpom only 15 this year. Really wasn't blown away by Chuba Akpom this year, which is a shame after he was so good last year. And that is it. Shows how widespread our goals were this year. Akpom with 16 assists, however, so maybe he was providing more rather than scoring them. Our second top creative player was Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain with 8 in 28. He wasn't as regularly first team this year as last. And Dean Henderson shares, in fact, the Golden Glove with 13 clean sheets in 38 games with the Premier League champion, Alisson. So fair enough to him for that. With regards to the other leagues that were going on this season, in the Championship coming back up is Fulham and Leicester, both over 100 points. One of Bournemouth, Watford, Hull or Queen's Park Rangers will join them in the Premier League. Reading, Plymouth and Swansea have been relegated from the Championship. In League One, Sunderland and Portsmouth back to the Champo, with Barnsley, Rotherham, Oxford and Northampton vying for a playoff spot. Cambridge in 10th. Go on the U's. Relegated, Swindon, Cheltenham, Wrexham are back down to League 2 and Mansfield also. And then in League 2, Port Vale, Forest Green and Leyton Orient bounce back to the third tier in England, with Fleetwood, Harrogate, Morecambe and Doncaster Rovers in the playoffs. Relegated would have been Salford City and Newport County. League run by Stade Rennais. Go on, lads. Paris Saint-Germain only second. Stade Rennais quarter-finalists, knocked out, of course, by ourselves in the Europa Conference League. They'll be Champions League next year. Dortmund win the league in Germany. Bayern only 4th. In Serie A, it's Inter from AC, Juve 3rd. In the Eredivisie, it's Ajax from Feyenoord. In Liga Portugal, Porto. In the Saudi League, it's Al Nassr. In the SPL, Rangers from Hearts, Celtic only 3rd. Long time since that happened. Real Madrid win in La Liga, Barcelona only 4th. Long time since that happened. Some shock results, some not so shock results throughout the course of the season. So with regards to the objectives for the board this year, they still are quite keen on me. They're not thrilled with my work, but they're keen on me. Youth development wise, we got one of the two, but we weren't focusing on youth in this save. We only kept 4 clean sheets at home. I think that says that Bramall Lane wasn't really a fortress, doesn't it, unfortunately? Financially, we ticked that one off. Domestic success, we did not finish in a Europa League spot, but by winning the Conference League, we will be in the Europa League next year. So, swings and roundabouts. And we still have 2 seasons left to get a top 4 spot, if we were continuing the save, of course. They wanted me to win the Europa Conference League. We did so. I think the not getting the top 4 and the fact that it hasn't registered that we finished with the Europa League qualification for the league objective is why the managerial rating isn't as high as it could be. But to be fair, they wanted the spot in the league regardless of what happened in the cup. So perhaps it's fair that they have put that one down as a cross rather than a tick. With regards our squad and how they've grown this season and their stats for the year, overall Chuba Akpom was still our top goal scorer with 15 goals and 16 assists in the Premier League and 25 overall. Cameron Archer was also up there with 22. Only 8 assists for him, so not as creative. 10 in the Premier League, 6 in Europe. The majority of his goals coming in cup competitions, Carabao, FA and Conference League. Rafa Mir got 9 goals in the league and 9 goals in cup competition, 18 overall. Tijani was not as good this year as last year. He blew me away last year when he first arrived, and despite growth, hasn't really been that good. Dragovic, I would have expected more from him as well, to be honest. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, 14 assists and 6 goals. Not as influential as last year, but still right up there and more contributions than Dragovic. So not far behind Rafa Mir or Tijani either. So another very good performance from Oxlade-Chamberlain. Jaden Bogle with 1 goal in the cup final. Naif with 1 goal on debut. Douglas Luiz with just the 1. Max Aarons with 1 as well. And Harmer and Max Lowe also chipping in. In terms of clean sheets, goalkeeper managed to get 17 in all competitions. Dean Henderson. Tijani managed to get 1 when Wes Fotheringham was able to get a clean sheet as well. So with regards overall growth for everyone, Dino up 2. Wes Fotheringham up 1 actually at 34 years of age, which is quite remarkable really. Max Lowe down 1. Spinazzola did get up to 82 I think, but he's now down to 81. I might be mistaken there. Flynn up 8 even to 73. Parker up 8 as well to 70. So good growth from them. Christopher Ayer up 4. Trusty up 1 only. David Hansko up 3. Aguerd stayed where he was. Kyle Walker down 2, but wants to come back to the club in real life. We did it in this save. He captained us to a European trophy. I think that's fair enough. Max Aarons didn't grow. Jaden Bogle up 2. Neil up 1. Wow. Douglas Luiz up 1. Slater up 10. 10 for Dominic Slater to 72. 12 for Lewis Hill, although that's with a position change, I believe. Tijani up 2. Oxlade-Chamberlain up 1. Dragovic up 4. Hamer didn't grow. Scott will come to, although he's up 3 to 78. Alan Adams up 3 with his loan spell at Sampdoria. Pedersen up 2, Holden up 2, Benny Troyer at 1, and we barely used him. Cameron Archer up 2, Chuba Akpom up 2, and Rafamir up 1. Really expecting more growth from Chuba after his season last year, but to top out at 79 is a bit of a disappointment, really. And if he had continued to grow, maybe we'd have scored more goals with him. We do have one player in the youth academy still, 68 rated, 87 to 93 potential, Carlos da Costa, but that's him done, really. So overall ratings for the Patreon players then, as you see them on screen here. I'll just quickly scroll through them because I will show you everybody's journey in just a second on the spreadsheet. If you guys would like to still join the Patreon for the VIP tier, for Messi didn't get a club in the end for like 2 seasons. If you would still like to join the VIP at the big one tier to get your player in FC24 saves, there is still the opportunity to do so. I haven't, as you see this, yet begun to create those players on FC24. So you can still join the Patreon at that level if you would like to get your player in. If you do, make sure that you check the Patreon post on the feed to leave your feedback and your player details so I know exactly how to build your guy. Of course, if you just want to join the Patreon at any level, be that £2 or above, it's entirely up to you, then you can still do so at any point, of course, but specifically if you wanted to be in the first saves for FC24, both Chelsea and my player, you need to get on it in the next couple of days. Of course, there is absolutely no necessity to join whatsoever. It is entirely your financial decision, of course. You can continue to just watch, and that would help me very much so indeed. If you could whitelist the channel with your ad blocker, though, that would be great too. And so your career journeys for the Patreon players. Aidan stayed at or chose to start Eintracht Frankfurt, stayed at Frankfurt. Adam, Arsenal to PSG and then stayed there. AJ, Nantes on loan, then Toronto bought him and no move. Fenerbahce loaned to buy for Alex and then he stayed at Fenerbahce. Barnes-Cutter chose Real Madrid and stayed there. Bibby on loan to Valencia, then we sold him to Braga where he stayed. Obviously, different saves throughout the course of the year have different progression curves. In the RTG, we got to like season 8 where there was massive amounts of moves for everybody. In the shorter saves, then obviously there's less movement, but the My Player will be however many seasons long, so certainly plenty of room for movement in that. The Cambridge United RTG will be very long, of course, in FC24 as well. The lead save will be slightly longer than the Chelsea one, so there's certainly plenty of movement available for you guys in a number of saves on FC24. Brannan started at Wolves and stayed there. Brannan started at going out on loan to buy to Valencia and then made the move permanent and stayed. Similarly, Callum to Lyon. Chris started at Reading and stayed there, will absolutely be their best player. Cole went on loan to Cadiz for 2 years and then Lazio bought him in the 3rd season. Similarly, Connor went on loan to Wolfsburg for 2 years and then Valencia bought him. Daniel was a free agent, then moved on to PSG in January, was loaned by PSG to Eibar and then stayed there this season. Danny Crawley continually, similarly for Dara at Chelsea. Dawson, loaned to buy in the January of season 1, stayed at loan in season 2 on loan and then made that move permanent at the end of this 3rd season. Daz and Emmett both stayed at their original clubs, both Borussia Dortmund and Barcelona respectively. Ferenc Puskás, Marcus's player, went on loan to Valladolid and then sold permanently to FC Köln where he stayed. Jack stayed at Pompey. Jamie started at Celtic, should have stayed at Celtic, similar to Adam at Arsenal, but PSG decided to sign some of my original at-a-club players, which is something that's never happened before, and I'm intrigued to see what happens in FC24. Jordan, loaned to buy to Burnley and then stayed. Millie, on loan to Bruges and then sold to Utrecht, where he then stayed. Justin to Liverpool and stayed. Lewis, loaned to buy to Southampton, where he stayed and played against us numerous times. Liam went on loan to Bruges and then sold to Saint-Etienne, where he stayed. Matthew Davison on loan to Espanyol and then sold to Freiburg, where he stayed. Nick chose Tottenham and stayed there the whole time. Nick went to Leicester and then on loan to buy and then stayed for the whole save and played against us a couple of times as well. Rob on loan to Vallecano and then got a permanent move to Spain to Celta Vigo. Scott has been on loan to Sporting for the entirety of time. Tom started at NEC. Tom started at Crystal Palace. Will went on loan to Girona and then PSV, signed him and he stayed there. And Zach started at Man United, was another one of the PSG players that got snapped up and he stayed at PSG. As I record this, we have Nathan, Bear, Bjorn, Entity, JPS, Matthew and Owen, and literally as I'm recording my outro, Louis has just joined the VIP Big One tier on the Patreon. So thank you, Louis, for doing that. I did see you just pop up in live chat, and I will say hello in just a moment once I finish recording my outro. So that's everybody on the Patreon at the moment. There is obviously still a couple of days for you guys to get joined up before the first saves. Of course, you can join whenever you like. So if you missed the cutoff for the first couple of saves, wait until the start of the next save after that, and then you can join then and get your player in for the season. You don't necessarily have to do it right at the very beginning, and that's you done for FC24. You can join whenever you like. So that's me done for Sheffield United. That's me done for FIFA 23. That's me done for FIFA as a franchise. We start a new era. The next video on the channel will be FC24 Chelsea Career Mode Episode 1. You can see the My Player for FC24 over on the second channel, linked in the description down below, Chesnoid Plays, as well as all of the Football Manager content that will be coming very soon, all of the Formula 1 content that has been going on over the summer as well. You can join me on stream to watch everything recorded live. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for your support over the past 12 years of uploading FIFA content over 2 channels. Let's start the new era well. Long live the king. FC24 on the way.